Angus has made a name for himself on the stages of Stratford. He has also graced the small screen with such shows as Airwolf and Dracula, the series. Currently, Geraint is working on a new television series that's going to air next fall. It's called Forever Night. And in it, he plays a cop who leads a double life. Now, what is his secret? He's a vampire. Let's take a look at a clip from the show.
Dwell on yesterday and you have no today, no tomorrow.
Another quote?
No, voice of experience.
You haven't lived that long.
I'm working on it.
The first dig was abandoned because the Indian laborers were being killed at night. They said it was vampires. Sucked their blood.
No.
It sounds incredible, but apparently they were searching for a pair of cups like the one we had stolen, and they found one, but they abandoned the dig before they found the other. That was ours. Don't you see? The murderer might have had one cup already and stole ours to make the pair.
No, I can't.
Nick?
Please welcome Geraint Wyn Davies.
Good. I haven't seen that before.
Ah.
No, that's weird. Here.
Is it weird watching yourself? Something you not get a chance to do very often?
Only on this show have I started watching myself. Before that, I couldn't stand it.
You know, some people cannot stand watching themselves. And I notice when we have some people out here, some actors, they won't look, and others are just fixated by watching themselves.
I'm not.
This is a very unusual premise. This is a policeman.
Yes.
Who is actually a vampire.
Yes.
But he's trying to make amends for all the people he's killed and sucked their blood.
Well, he's had 800 years to do all the bad stuff, and I think this life is when he's trying to sort of appease the gods or whatever for all that stuff that he's done in his past.
But he is still a vampire.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
where does
but
he
doesn't
get the blood?
Well, he drinks animal blood. This is sort of a thing that he's doing now. He doesn't go out and kill them, actually. He's not sort of like a Holstein proud guy or anything.
Well, what, he gets donations from animals?
He goes, at night he goes to the slaughterhouses, and picks up stuff, and so sort of, he keeps them in wine bottles in the fridge.
Get out of here.
No, he does.
Does he have years on them?
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. Heifers, I mean, it's great. It goes down the whole thing. It's good, yeah. And pig's blood.
And pig's blood?
Yeah.
Does he have a preference?
Cow.
Cow.
Yeah.
And now, in this lifetime, he's sworn only to eat drink animal blood.
Yes.
Does he belong to VA? Vampires Anonymous. I thought maybe you'd heard that.
Actually, it is. That's the funny take on the show, and the fact that the vampirism is more of, we're taking it from the aspect of it being an addiction, as opposed to the classical vampire kind of, I'm an evil guy. This is a man with a problem, and that he's trying to get rid of.
But in this story, can he get rid of it, or is he doomed? As we know, vampires, they must have blood, or they themselves, I think, die, don't they?
Yes.
Okay.
We've shot 5 shows, and there's no, I don't think there's any intention of turning him into the mortal side.
He never finds redemption, then?
No. There are close moments, but then he just loses it. There are all these secrets, of course, that we don't know, but that the script writers write. That, of course, in the Mayan civilization, there were 2 cups that probably would make him human again, and one gets broken.
Oh,
so, just at that last second. Are you crazy?
As a cop, I guess and a vampire, he's on the night beat?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But you are shooting at night? I heard you say you're shooting from 7:30 at night?
From 5:30 at night till 7:30 in the morning.
So you really are living the life of a vampire. I mean, your life is completely
totally
turned around.
topsy-turvy, sure.
Have you gone accustomed? Yeah, right. Excuse me.
Oh, sorry. Oh, excuse me.
Did you go into training for this before you started shooting?
Only when I was 18. I haven't seen a sunrise for so long. This is weird.
It must be difficult, though, to have to try and perform an act at 2:30 or so in the morning?
Yeah, but when you put in eyes and teeth, they can't tell what you're doing anyway. So you actually have a nap behind the lenses.
Is that what that is? Are there contact
they're
lenses?
actually German hand-painted lenses that are quite wild to put on because you can't see anything.
Oh, you can't?
No.
So you're sort of a blind vampire, are you?
Yeah.
Ah.
Sure, yeah.
This is a long way from Stratford. I mean, from Shakespeare to vampires.
Yeah. it's funny because the last thing I did was over in England, which was playing Hamlet on a national tour in England. We ended up at Chichester Festival and everything else. And then I came back on a holiday because we were selling our homes in Stratford, Ontario, and moving to the south of France. And I was on a holiday, and my wife said, go out and get a job, for God's sake. So I hit the streets again, trying to pay for my classical time in England. And I ended up, of course, meeting the people for Forever Night and doing this for good God knows how long. But yes, it is different, although acting is acting, and the thing is, the challenges for television, of course, are entirely different from what they are on stage. But I just find that the challenge of actually keeping your energy going for 14 hours a day at night is actually enough to get, I mean, who cares if you've got 3 lines per day? I mean, often you walk on a set, and you are there for 14 hours, and you might say, I mean, all of a sudden,
really?
Oh, but you'd have to do it, you know,
You've got to
really,
do it
really
well. I mean,
yeah.
Thank God you had all that
training, absolutely.
Shakespeare and stuff.
Yes. And you tone it down.
Did Shakespeare ever have, in all of his writings, anything to do a vampire?
No, but he's got all the darkness. And actually, it was funny playing that Hamlet coming into Nick Night kind of thing, that kind of challenge. And it's all about life, death, and what we're dealing with in Forever Night is the man trying to figure out whether or not it's worth carrying on, because you know that it's only the dark side that you can embrace, et cetera, et cetera. And of course, with Hamlet, it's all about, you know, the choice between no matter what he does, he's going to lose out. You know, the to be or not to be dilemma. And in a way...
Can't win that one. To be or not to be. Can't win that one?
No, you cannot win that. I figured that there's a great backstory where Nick actually was sitting with Shakespeare, and Shakespeare's sitting around going, I got this idea, but I want to say, if to exist or maybe not hang around for a while, and Nick goes, no, make it shorter. You know, to be or not to be. Oh, thanks. Anyway, and so it's a backstory. I've always wanted to correct Shakespeare, but I don't.
We have another clip for you to see from the television series Forever Night. In it, Catherine Disher plays the coroner, whose name is Natalie Lambert. Now, she's the only person that knows Nick's secret. Good thing she's a coroner. She can help this boy out. Anyway, she's confronting him about his attitude towards changing from a vampire to a mortal. Let's take a look at this.
You know, you create a lot of tension when you disappear like this. Stone Tree starts eating Kleenex. Have you ever seen him do that? I think he does it for the roughage.
Close the blinds, Nat.
No, you have got to stop drinking this stuff.
Give me that!
Is this the same guy who came begging to me to help him change so he could see a sunrise?
Screw the sunrise. Give me the bottle.
No! Look, everything I do for you, everything that can help you regain your mortality is wasted when you drink this stuff. It is the blood that keeps you from coming over.
I am what I am. And I don't think Betty Ford takes vampires.
You can be human.
Human? What's more human? To drink a little cow blood now and then or commit cold-blooded murder?
You've done both.
I caught a killer tonight and paying my debt.
Oh, and you couldn't have caught him without the vampire?
Who cares how I did it?
You do.
Close the blinds and get out here.
Well, I guess this is a major change in attitude. Excuse me. You don't want help? Hey, I'm a dot in the horizon.
Give me a break.
Here, I'll just close the blinds for you, and you can go back to your Bela Lugosi film. Maybe he can give you a few tips.
That's a very funny line. I don't think they'd take, the Betty Ford Clinic will take me. That's very, hello, Betty Ford Clinic? We have more with Geraint Wyn Davies when we return right after this. Geraint Wyn Davies is with us too. Yes, I got the name right. Geraint. Did Airwolf, remember the series Airwolf? There was a helicopter, yes, and you were in that. You're terrified of flying?
Yes, and I hate blood.
And you hate blood?
Yeah, it's weird.
The man who was cursed. I was saying that in the Anne Rice series and all of the things that are ever given to us about vampires, they are very intelligent people. And your ability to do Stratford fits in perfectly with our perception of what vampires should be. After 800 years, they have incredible knowledge. I mean, they talked to everyone. They had glamorous affairs with wonderful people in the past.
Yeah. What's great is also you can do different accents for every period. In this series, we flash back every episode to a period in time in his growth. And already I've tried to seduce St. Joan. She didn't go for it. Well, showed her. She shaved her head and got burned. But anyway, and we constantly flash back. This week's episode, I'm back around Salem with the gang. And so you have to, you get to read interesting backstories on things like that.
But in all my readings of vampires, and I do refer to the Anne Rice series, vampires are not sexual as humans are sexual.
No.
They get their sexuality from this.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it's
throwing up? Yeah, this
Yes.
into the neck is a very sexual, sensual experience.
Yeah, it's a heck of a thing getting to know your co-star. Yeah, every week we have very beautiful women, and all I get to do is bite their neck.
Well, that must keep your wife happy. At least you're, you're not leaping in
Although
bed
it's
with
really,
women.
on the weekend, it's tough to turn around. No.
I saw you out there with those Band-Aids all out there.
It's awful. She doesn't get out much anymore. But
it must be a wonderful, interesting way for you to go, and I guess a good relief from, as an actor, the purpose is to experience all of the different things and stretch and grow, and this would do that.
Well, what's wonderful is you're playing Hamlet, and all you want is a television series. To do a television series, all you want to do is play Hamlet. So
oh, wine.
It's moan. So you might as well make the big bucks and then go and start your own theater company so you can. No, I'm just kidding.
But the big bucks in this will be that it's going to, it's produced here.
It's produced here. It's a co-production between Paragon Entertainment in Canada and TriStar Entertainment in America, and indeed CFTO, and indeed a German company. And I think some fabric maker in Bali has something involved.
The capes
by,
So you sold your home in Stratford? Did you?
Not yet.
Oh, you didn't?
Does anyone want to buy a house?
Sale. You're still trying to sell? I thought you said homes.
Oh, yeah, well, okay.
Excuse me.
I know. I didn't want to say that, but yeah, a couple of places. Yeah.
So I guess
Airwolf.
stage was a little more profitable than we thought.
Yeah, and we're moving to the south of France.
Oh,
and, excusez-moi. And we're going to try to do that whole European thing.
I don't know, what do you mean when you say that European thing?
Well, for me, it would be acting on the stage in Britain and doing the features and the co-productions that are going on in Europe. I just finished a film in Germany in the fall, which was called a Euro Pudding, which I love that name.
A Euro Pudding?
A Euro Pudding, because everyone, France, Germany, England, Spain, everybody has money in it, so...
And that's not going to look good. You know when they have the line that roars and that works? Euro Pudding is not going to work in the big screen. I don't know.
Well, I think it's great. It's sort of like everyone has a piece of it, and I really also like the idea of... Well, I was born in Wales and grew up in Canada, which I've always enjoyed, but I have this sort of affinity toward it, so I went back. But Alana calls Great Britain the Grey Aquarium, so so she's not really enamored with the idea of living in wet all the time.
But when you're doing this series, you have an X number. What are you going to do if this is a big hit, though? You're going to be back and forth all the time, because it takes a great deal of time to do a series, does it not?
Well, that will delay things, of course. I mean, that means that we'll stay until it runs its course.
The actor's life is predicated on how long the show runs and how well the series does, and...
Right now we're doing 13, which takes us to a certain point that we know, and if it gets picked up, it could go on and on. It will be forever night, you know. But
it is its schedule. When will it start running?
Well, it's actually starting on CBS on Tuesday night, the 5th. Is that the 5th?
The 5th?
Yeah, 5th on Tuesday night, and the first 2 hour goes Tuesday, Wednesday, and then it runs its course.
So wait a minute, the first what? It goes Tuesday and Wednesday night?
Because it's a 2 hour, so they're trying to sort of...
Oh, that's how they introduce it. They have a big special blah-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the rest of them run until it runs its course. And then we decide whether... Oh, they decide, we? Did I say we? They decide whether or not I have a job.
You pray,
yeah,
they decide.
And, but it starts on CFTO in the fall.
Okay.
And however that works, you know, so CBS will run it whenever they do, and the Canadian end will run in the fall.
It's amazing when it runs in the States, though, because the moment, they don't do it here in this country, but in the United States they have what they call overnights. They know exactly how many people are watching every 15 minutes of a show.
Yes, we should know by about 5 minutes into the show whether we're going or not. We'll be shooting episode 7 and go, what are you doing? They're my clothes.
But they will know the next morning how big a deal it was and how successful it was. And it really is, when you're going for this kind of thing in prime time, there's so much emphasis. It really is. They give you 13 and it's like a hit or miss right away. It's pretty brutal stuff.
Yeah. Oh, oh yeah.
Yeah, oh, well.
Yeah, I mean, they're really... But the great thing, after having worked for quite a few years, a lot of years in the theater and everything, is that having it is wonderful, but if it goes away, it's not going to be that big a deal.
Every actor or actress I've ever talked to talks about the thing you have to learn, I guess, and the thing of being rejected time.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah. Have you ever gotten up in the morning, looked in the mirror, and gone, I understand why? Well, you know. So
Yes, I have.
Yeah, so that's, you get used to it so often, but it's when you get up and you actually say, no, by golly, I'm going to go out and get it today or whatever, that's okay. But it's when you do believe that you actually are absolutely nobody. I mean, it's worse than...
Have you been there? Have you been to the point where you've been rejected so much that you thought you really believe you're absolutely nobody?
I've never not worked. I love that.
You've been very lucky.
I have been extremely fortunate.
And I mean, given that you are very talented, but they say that only 10% of all actors work at any time.
Listen, some of the best actors in the world I know have the most difficult time getting a job, and that I will never understand. And some of us, you know, who are okay, we are good at what we do, but some of us are just, we just fly, and it's amazing.
Why must you do this? Why are you driven to this?
Well, it's funny. My dad's a minister. My mum's a teacher. My dad's the minister of the only Welsh church in Canada. It's Dewi Sant down on Melrose Ave.
It's called which?
Dewi Sant United Church.
Dewi Sant?
Dewi Sant. It's St. David's.
Okay.
And it was watching Dad and Mum, well, Dad basically only because he was a preacher, having a captive audience on a Sunday morning.
Right.
And watching him do his stuff, which he does better than almost anybody. Other than me, and thanks, Dad. It just, I don't know, I fell in love with the idea of communicating.
It is, if you see a minister that is a good minister, and when he, and can capture and has, it has that quality of being an actor, can actually take an audience through something. It's really an enjoyable Sunday morning.
There's a Welsh word called hwyl. And it's the idea of, and it's actually, it's a bit of a technical thing, but it's the idea of constantly raising your voice until you know, you're at the end, and it's like this brilliant oratorio. That has that in aces, and in a way, on stage, you get a chance to bring a bit of that into it, and it grows, and it's basically, you're gliding. It's amazing.
But if you want...
You don't get a chance to do it as much on television,
yeah,
because, of course, it's dictated by so many different technical aspects, but it's an amazing feeling. And you also get to purge yourself of a lot of hang-ups that you might have. Well, you know, if you get to go out and bare your soul every night, you're not necessarily going to have to cry in your milk when you go home. Well, at least if you drink milk, I guess. I don't.
I think you're actually perfect for this role. I was just observing last observation that because vampires do have this incredible history, that you're training in Stratford, because some of the things you say are really quite eloquent and quite beautiful. So it's almost a perfect role for you to bring all this together.
Well, it's amazing because, of course, at CBS, I don't think originally probably didn't want me because I'm sort of light-haired, sort of not quite a dark individual.
Vampires should be dark-haired.
Yeah. This is why I've got this, which drives me crazy.
Why?
Well, because it's supposed to butch me up. I think it does. What do you think, Dini?
Oh, yeah. I thought that when I saw you.
Okay, yeah.
Tough-looking guy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, just...
I'm trying to think of how to say your name, but I've got my mind in such a mess.
I'll just do it every time. Geraint. Okay.
Geraint.
Yeah.
Wyn Davies. Coming up on this fall on the CFTO network, our station, and across the CTV network. And then also you're going to find it on NBC, we say?
CBS.
CBS, sorry, NBC. CBS. Forever Night. Thank you very much. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we have a new magazine for men, and he'll be back to give us viewpoints.
Thank you.